folks, it's Parkera here, and welcome to the season review for season 2 with Clyde FC, the Bully Wee. So, we last left you was the championship deciding game where we faced Albion Rovers. Now, like I mentioned, that wasn't a game that was planned, but because of obviously the situation, it was decided to put it through. Now we've gone through obviously, and these are just the scores and things we did. So we went to then Queen's Park and drew 2-2. Yeah, it was late goals galore really. They scored in the 72nd. We scored from a penalty in the 73rd. They then went 2-1 up in the 86th, and then Al Bazzoudi was able to add his second goal in the 90th minute to give us a draw. We deserved something out of that game, but yeah, we didn't. I think maybe a bit of a hangover from the Albion, the championship winning game. A few early celebrations. Who knows? We then travelled to Stenhouse Musa, and 3-1 win there. Nice, comfortable win. 2 goals by Boyle and Balmokta on the score sheet here. Been playing a few games back from injury, but obviously mainly off the bench, and an odd one here or there as a starter. We then hosted Sterling. Nice, good 2-1 win here, really, without doubt. They did get us pull one back in the 73rd, but we did have control of that match. Then away to Elgin, 4-3 win. What a game this was, back and forth. It was absolutely nutsacks. They scored in the 7th. We equalised in the 19th. They then scored 2 quick goals to go 3-1 up before Fraser was able to pull one back just before the half. And then Kieran Campbell just storming Norman fairly late in the second half with 2 goals, giving us a lucky 4-3 win. We played okay. Yeah, just the second half was good to pull those goals and get something out of it. I did give the guys an absolute rack up at half time. Cowdenbeath then, we hosted we went to Cowdenbeath, Jack Boyle and Morrell on the goals there. Flying high, going well, and the bump. Now, just a lot of these games here as well, I did do a fair bit of rotation. This one, you'll probably notice by the team, there's a lot of players there. Obviously low stats, but a few players that haven't featured too often. But I did not expect this loss. We just had no answer to them. I mean, yeah, we're just flying blanks. So yeah, and then I decided to finish the season off against Peterhead with the full strength team. 2-1 win there. Comfortably, really. They pulled that 78th minute goal back. To make it maybe a little bit squeaky bum, but we did still manage to control most of the game there. We played all right. Last game of the season as well. What do you can expect? So that is what we got there. And we're just going to go in there and just go through and see for this part. So this will be broken. I'll be skipping in bits and pieces and coming back. So we just got a cash injection of 64k from the winning of the championship there. So that gives us a healthy balance, which we still had anyway because of that massive clause that we got there, which is always a good thing. We'll look at the club. It probably won't click over, but we'll just have a look at what the status of the club is. The regional 1.5 star. It'll be interesting to see if that goes up now once we've secured the promotion when it updates at the end of the month. So let's just go into an inbox there. Clyde scored total 30 matches won in a season is a new team record. The players inducted into Clyde overall best 11. So you can see the team there. Even Good Willie still makes it with Boyle as that shadow striker. Lockheed on the right here, which is quite surprising. Fraser and Al Bazzoudi there with Grant as the defensive midfield. It's interesting to me that they've kind of picked this formation when I don't play this. Mega, Dunlop, Gohugul and Miller on as our back, which was pretty much the way going forward, and Curry in goal, which is quite interesting there though. But yeah, we'll see how we go. End of season awards. It's quite funny, we'd never got all these last season, so I'll just take it. So Jack Boyle, 40% fans player of the season award. I think that's a well-deserved effort there, Jackie Boyle getting that. 40% of the vote, followed by Scott Lockhead and Connor Higgins down below in the on 21st, but yeah, Jackie Boyle well and truly on par. And Jack Boyle, goal of the season. Let's have a quick look. I wonder if this is the one I think it could be. It was a decent goal if I am thinking correctly. So let's let that generate as I jibber jabber. So it was from the free kick. No, it's not the one I was thinking of. It was okay. I don't think that was goal of the season. Daryl Miggott, free agent signing of the season. Yeah, I'll have to agree with that. And young player of the season also Jack Boyle. It's hard to believe he's only 22 as well. So we just have a look at some of the stats there. Top goal scorer, Jack Boyle, 20. Now, he's played from the shadow striker role. Managed to get into 20 goals. Loki had 7.38 highest average rating. He missed a lot towards the end of the season, so that could have been higher. Albazudi was 16 assists. At one stage, Campbell was very close to getting an assist record there, but missed out. Grant, best pass completion. Jack Boyle and Kieran Campbell, most player of the match awards, equal in 5 exact there. And yellow cards, Gary Fraser, and red cards, Gary Fraser. Does the job though, so that's not too bad at all. Season review there, we'll just have a quick look. You can just have a read of that if you want. Match of the season. 3-0 win against Denham-Melzer, and they reckon the moment to forget was a 3-0 win to Berwick, which in April. I guess so. We didn't really lose many, so it's hard to choose. 9% full, 746 average attendance. To be honest, I don't agree with this figure. I still think that it's built into the reputation of the club or some shit too much in this game. I think I had a good rant about it in last FM18 about it with the Wellington Phoenix. I mean, we pretty much went all season we're not undefeated, but we stormed home, and I'll show you that soon. And we only averaged 746. I think in reality, more people would show up to home games if you're storming through and odds to get the bloody championship. But anyway, joint second highest most players use. Yeah, we did a little rotation. I mean, you can see here in the graph, and we only have 746 of an average. Okay. Yeah, Scottish Cup lost in the 4th round, knocked out in the group stages of the Bedford and Iron Brew, lost in the quarterfinals against Wraith, and winners of obviously the Ladbrokes League 2. In the season confidence review, to summarise the board, are very pleased. Control the Rage budget has been a highlight. They also are aware that some of the fans are disappointed with the performance of Scott Rumsby. Yeah, well, he was hardly playing, so shut up, fans. Ha! But yep, pretty good there as well. And I just had to start the preseason dates and rubbish like that. So what we'll do here is go into the actual squad now, and I'm just going to let's just sort it by it is. So you know what I mean. So we're going to just go straight through and just show you. First of all, just have a look at the appearances. So you can see a bulk of the team played fair whack. There was injuries later on, but I think Fives down there. He missed the majority of the season with a viral infection, so and he was the one to start. That was the aim. Goals. Let's go for goals. Jack Boyle on 20, closely followed by Connor Higgins in the striker. So that was good. That was a massive part of our success with those two, shadow striker and our main striker advanced forward there, getting into double figures. I mean. Yeah, Colin Higgins, 20. I did rotate a lot towards the end of the season, like I mentioned. So he probably could have scored more, but that's fine. Really, for someone who really was going to be looked at as the number 2 striker, but I got thrown at the deep end really because of Albazudi's viral infection. Scott Lockhead again. He contributed 17 goals early on. He played on the right because Campbell was injured, and also did float into the middle. Then he got injured as well. So, I mean, to say that's from midfield, that's a very good tally. I'm really happy with that. And Albazudi as well, advanced forward, inside forward on the left, 16 goals. So, really good contribution there from the wingers and also, obviously, forwards there. 14 goals from Aaron Murrell, who was, for a majority of the season, our number 2 and got some looks in, and then kind of dropped into the 3rd place of reserves when Albazudi came back from injury. So I'm pretty happy with that. And even 9 there from Campbell. Like I said, he missed a fair whack of the season as well early on because of injury and took him a while to get going. But he came with 9, so I'm pretty happy with all those goals. If we look at the assists, there's 16 from Al Bazzuti, 15 from Scott Lockhead, and 12 from Boyle. So all 3 of those, I mean, Boyle's rented as an attacking midfield centre, so but plays as a shadow striker role. So if you look at those, I mean, that's a really good amount of assists there, really helping push towards and getting the goals. And if you think that Jack Boyle got 12 or offered 12 assists as well as scoring 20 goals, pretty darn good. Pretty happy with it. And if we look at the average rating, Scott Lockhead, considering he missed, like I said, a chunk of the end of the season, so I still managed to finish a 7.38, so the highest rating there. Really good efforts. I hope we can keep on to him as well. Jack Ball 7.31, 7.19 from Gary Fraser, which is good. Murrell 7.17 from his limited appearances, but still, and Zach Albazuti 7.17. So a lot of players on 7s. I don't know why Duffy's not highlighted, probably because he's only played 8. But yeah, a lot of the players in the high 6 as well, 6.9s, and well and truly into 7s. I think it shows because of how well we did in the league. And I'm going to touch on just the league here at the moment. I will come back later and cover, we'll come back towards the end of May and add into this video most likely around the league so you can have a look at things. And we'll just see how we go with the, how everyone's played. So that's the table as it stands 3rd of May. Okay, so Carlton Beath are in the playoff for relegation. We have Clyde well and truly atop. We did Albion, Stenhouse Musa, and East Fife in the playoffs, and everybody else played there. Peterhead just dropped off. I mentioned those in a live con a while back. But we played 38 games, won 30, drew 3, and lost 3. So the losses were to Berwick, which was that heavily rotated squad. 2-1 loss to East Fife and a 4-3 loss to Stirling. So we never got spanked. I mean, our losses were fit. Well, I guess Berwick was a spanking. But apart from that, our losses were quite close. Our draws, where we lost more points, was against Queen's Park, where we covered. They're twice, actually. 2-2, and they are a rival, and Stenhouse Musa. So, again, I mean, not too many drop points there. We scored 100 goals, 41 conceded for a goal difference of 59. Oh my bloody Nora. Finishing on 93 points, smashing the record for League 2. So we go into the records here, and let's go to this season, I guess, or modern day. Let's go modern day. So we have a look at most points in the season, Clyde. So we did set that as well. 93, and like I mentioned before, 88 had been the previous mark. We managed to smash that. We also, most league wins in a season was 30. We set that record and broke the old one this season as well. So yeah, I'm really, really happy about that. Highest attendance was set for the derby, 1,400 of Queen's Park versus Clyde in February, and the lowest attendance was 310 there, which we didn't break, but obviously it was set there. So there's some records there, and we go to the I think profile of the Ladbrokes here. Let's just have a look as well. We'll just put the league table there if you want to have another squiz of our magnificence. So goals, Billy Mortimer from Queen's Park on 25, Gracie on 19 for Albion, and Elgin City Lewis Small. I don't know why it's not showing Higgins. I guess because Higgins didn't score that many league goals. He scored 19 overall, so that'd be most likely why. But that's fine. We'll take that. We dominate average rating. Jack Ball 7.39 and Gary Fraser 7.28. Al Bazzuti first equal for assists. We don't fetch and play of the match awards or clean sheets or yellow cards. Actually, no, we don't. So, not too bad, I guess, there. Injury table, one. Okay, that's just current injuries, I guess, anyway. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's have a look at the award winners, which have not yet been announced. Team of the year hasn't. Young player of the month. No, they haven't been announced yet as well. But yeah, I think stats. Here we go. Let's have a look at some team overview stats here. We do feature a little bit in form, obviously win, then that loss there. First equal games, of course, 36. Home form was second there. Red cards, 8, which is mostly due to Fraser. Away form, top of the pops. Average attendance, okay, I did have a complaint, but it's only second, so, but still. Stadium standouts, none. And average possession, 54% there for that as well. We go for a few more detailed stats. Average possession was Clyde, 54%. Penalties taken, 8 and 8. So it looks like we didn't miss any penalties. Pretty happy with that. Yellow cards, yeah, top, and red cards, top as well. Not the best. Games run in a row, we were second with that one. Games lost in a row, of course, we never featured really. Games scored in a row, 7th with 1. It's because of that other loss. It's silly how some things work. Let's just get to some other stats that we can try. And okay, so attacking, obviously, Clyde with 100 goals. We look at crosses completed. We dominate that first, 236 as well. And pass completion ratio, we're second there, pretty good there. Chances created, 121 for Clyde. We had 322 shots on target, which is 43%. Fouls against us, pretty there, 400, and dribbles per game, 4. Whatever. Defending, yet we only scored 41, which was the first. Albion came second, and so did Peterhead. We're only conceding 44. That's quite surprising with Peterhead's recent drop in form and slumping down the leagues, that they still maintain third position. Clean sheets, yeah, we had 13 clean sheets. Pretty happy with that, to be honest, during the season. Tackles won was 730, with a tackles won ratio equaling 96%. Now, we just go through here and have a look at the attendance. So, yeah, second attendance, like I touched on before. The average attendance for capacity, we were down by to 9th, which is 9%. And that is disappointing there, really. We weren't in the stadium sellouts. There's no point there. We were second for the highest attendance there, which was 1,346. And, yeah, if we look at the net transfer spend, we were 10th. So, we didn't spend, net transfer spend and also per annum salary. Okay, so we have a fair whack of the salary of spend of I don't understand this, $1 million. No. It is what it is. So yeah, that's the details on the finances as well. So there, I think that covers it all. If we have a look at some of the player overviews here, again, so you'll see for the average ratings, Jack Boyle, Fraser, and Albazudi do come into that. Penalties, Albazudi 5 from 5, and Lockheed 3 from 3. Assists, Albazudi in 13, and Lockheed in 12. Fraser red cards, which we've touched on. Team goals, we actually take out all 4 there with Kogel, Boyle, Higgins, and Cuddles. Games run, obviously, because of our team and team goals, as well as team goals and team goals. Yep, okay, makes sense there. Okay, so when it comes to overall goals for the season, Jackie Boyle is 3rd overall on 18, and Higgins ended up in 17 for league goals. Alright, folks, I think that is all I need to cover. I will have a look at the dynamics for you. So if we finish on a very good match cohesion, very good atmosphere, excellent managerial support. The hierarchy is as this. Cuddles is as top. We've got a few players there now coming through, and I have 20 players who support me, 4 who still don't give a fuck. Al Kazodi, he's only an 18 kid. Robinson, I probably haven't played him right. I haven't played him in Moral enough, really, and Moral been bollocking because of his training, so I don't really care. But the whole team, yeah, supports me in the first team squad, which is very good, and so they bloody well should. Core groups, we've only really got 2. We've got the core social group and the secondaries. And the happiness, everybody's happy, pretty much chappy. Yeah, so that is what it is. Do we want to look at my profile? Let's have a look at my profile in case it changes. So there's my profile. I'm not going to go into detail. You can have a pause the screen if you want and have a rosy nosy of that. Level of discipline's gone up to 12. I've noticed that's pretty cool. It's because I've dished out a little bit with these red cards this season. My reputation is 1.5 stars as well. All right, folks. So I won't be too long away. I'm going to leave that section there while we come back, and I'll come back later on. So this will be a bit of a long episode, obviously. So far hitting about 20 minutes if I recall. So I'll come back and we'll add on once the playoffs are done, just to show you who went up and stuff for this league, and then I will also touch into the other leagues of this around the world. Just do it in one big episode. Then it gives me the weekend to get through and try and get into a pre-season. All right, we'll see you shortly. So we're back, and finally the end of season awards for the league have been distributed, and there's only two. And first of all, Jack Boyle wins Player of the Year for the League 2. Excellent performance. Well done, Boyle. I'm gonna passionately give you a big smoochy kiss. You deserve it, bro. Well done. Jack Boyle, 32 appearances, 18 goals, 11 assists, average rating of 7.39. Team of the Year, 7 players listed in Team of the Year: Archie Mayer, Kogel, Dunlop, Megart, Albazzuti, Fraser, and Higgins. All thoroughly deserved. Speaking of Mayer, Aberdeen have been agreeing to redo his loan, to renew his loan for another season. He's rejected it every time. I'm hoping he'll take it, because I'd like to bring him into season 2. Set the expectation. Team talk. End of the season. Team talk. Apparently, we are going for the playoffs. Yeah. Okay. I initially said top half, and most of the team were like, "Oh, I thought I think that's not right." So I said, "Okay, well, because I think, okay, then let's reassess that." Okay, playoffs, and they're right. Yeah, that's right. We'll go for the playoffs. Okay, that's interesting to see. And then there's just some other things which I will cover, so I'll be back very shortly. I have had checked, and it doesn't look like there's a Manager of the Year award or anything like that, so I'll just give it to myself and thank myself for Manager of the Year. Let's just have a look here. I will just give you League 2 and let you know what's happened in the playoffs for the league. Overview. So we'll have a look at here, and I'll show you the stages. So the playoffs, you'll see that Albion lost to Dumbarton in the relegation promotion playoff. So that means Albion stay in League 2 and Dumbarton stay in League 1. Yeah, so that's Connell here. In the relegation playoff, it looked like Carlton Beef may have gone down, but they managed to scrape ahead and equal 5-all in aggregate, and then staying up on penalties. So that is what you see there. So pretty much all these teams are going to be in the League 2 next season, apart from the mighty Clyde. Now, shall we have a look at League 1? Dun, 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 dun. League 1. So we know about the relegation playoffs. Looks like everything's done. Let's have a look at the Ladbrokes Championship final. Hasn't been played yet. Tie played on 16th of the 5th, so it has. It looks like it ended on a draw on aggregate. Okay, whatever that means. Cool. So the League 2, okay, so Annan got relegated. So we need to try and avoid what happened, because they went up as champions last season. They have been relegated. So they're going back down. Edry go up as champions. So yeah. And I'm not sure what's happened with that. I just want to have a look at this again. I just hang on. Edry. Boom, boom. Sorry, Morton. So it looks like Morton might have won that and stayed up against Aloha. Okay. Roger that, Ramjet. So, unfortunately, my prediction earlier on that Morton are probably going to go down, they must have scraped that playoffs, done or something, to get into a playoff for it. But that's okay. So we do definitely lose Kogel, and no chance of bringing him back, because he would have been spectacular. So that's League 1 for you guys. Let's go up to Championship. So that is, as we've seen, the relegation, just the promotion second round has been taken care of, and it looks like Inverness either stay up or go down. I'm not sure. Hang on. Let's have a look at the league table. Okay, so Inverness go up. And they won the playoffs there. I think there may be another round. It might be too early for this anyway. But Livingston get relegated. Erie go up, or Ayr United. I think it's United go up. And Moreton did. Okay, so Moreton did finish outside of the definite relegation zone just, and that's that's a bit of a shame. And I was hoping they'd go down and we'd be able to play them. You know what I mean? Okay, so that's the league table there. And if we go to the championship there, the premiership now, we can see that relegations, Hamilton are relegated. Dundee's in a playoff there for the relegation, which I don't think has happened yet. Doesn't so, no. Celtic champions again with Aberdeen and Rangers in the European champion spots for the qualified for the Euro Cup. And yeah, so that's not too bad there for Scotland. Okay, what I'll do is I'll come back. We will touch on just the other leagues because I think there's a few things, so England and stuff like that, probably towards, and I'll just maybe come back and we'll go through Scotland again. All right, just pause it there. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the final part of the season review. This time we're going to be looking at just some of the other leagues around the world, and I'll try and remember to put in some of the other league competitions as well. So the Scottish Cup we're going to touch on just back in Scotland with some of the winners of these competitions. So if we go into the Scottish Cup, we can see the title holder is Celtic beating Aberdeen 1-0. The Betfred Cup, Motherwell being spanked 5-1 by Celtic again, so that's a treble for Celtic. And the Iron Brew Cup 4-1 win for Wraith over Dundee. So that there is the cups, not too shabby babby. If we have a look at the leagues in focus, we're going to just go to England first, and we'll just go to the Premier Division. So we can see Man City won the championship here. 8-point gap over Man United. But so Man City champions, United, Liverpool, and Chelsea with Spurs also in the European Cup, and Arsenal and Everton finishing in the Europa Cup league spots. Aston Villa, Newcastle, and Blackburn going down. To be honest, it's a shame to see Villa and Newcastle go down. Obviously, to me, it's clubs that kind of are representative of Premiership status and stuff like that. But it is what it is, and it's good to see Burnley up in 10th there as well. So pretty good. Yeah, if you want to have a look at some of these lead scorers and other things, help yourself. It's just going to be right there. You just pause the screen. I'm not going to go into too much detail. We're going to go down now to the Championship, and you'll see in the playoffs final that Cardiff beat Swansea 4-1 in that. So that confirms promoted to the Premiership as Fulham as champions, Huddersfield and Cardiff going back up after that there too. Interesting to see if they come straight back down. We have Kevin Lalojo's team, Petersburg, being relegated, Preston North End, which is a shame there, being relegated, and Bristol City also adding into the relegation spots. Take a nosy down to League One, and you'll see that Lincoln beat Charlton 3-0 in the playoffs there for the promotion. And that rounding out there with Barnsley as champions and Hull being promoted as well from League One into the Championship. We have Mansfield, Walsall, Gillingham, and Port Vale being relegated. We see Aki Stanley, the mighty Aki Stanley, staying there just on goal differential of 1. Phew, that's the local team for the family back home in England. So, yeah, good results there for Stanley. Now let's cruise back down to League 2. Shrewsbury winning via penalties against Swindon there in that promotion final. That's rounding off MK Johns as the champions. Rochdale, there you go, mate. Bobby G, Rochdale going up. And Bury being promoted with obviously Shrewsbury, Cheltenham, and Morecambe ending life in the Football League. Let's scroll down into the Vanarama National League. Ebbsfleet winning the playoffs there for 2-1 win over Sutton. So that sees Aldershot go up as champions, and as we know, Ebbsfleet going up as well. Salford missing out by 1 point there with second place. Harrogate, FC Halifax, Alfreton, and Dartford being relegated. We will, if I think I have them loaded, scroll into the league. So York beating Blythe there in the final. That leads for the North League. Vanarama North, Stockport going up as champions with York from the promotion spot. Pretty good, 1 and 2 going up. Farsley, Bradford, and Stalybridge on their way down. Any other notables there? Nothing really kicking up. We go to the Vanarama South. We'll see Bath 1-0 there. So that's Bath and Billericay going up into the Vanarama the conference, with East Thurrock, Concord, and Chippenham going down. So that is England. We will have a quick nosy here at the FA Cup if I can as well. English FA Cup. We will see that Man City looks like they got the double there, beating Liverpool 1-0 after extra time to win the FA Cup. If we have a look here, let's have a look at the semis. In the semi-finals, Liverpool beating Newcastle 4-0 and Man City beating Ipswich 4-0. Ipswich and Newcastle, who got relegated, are making the semi-finals. Not a bad deal for those teams as well. And let's have a look at the League Cup. I don't even know what it's called anymore. So probably English League Cup. No, it's not even called that anymore. What is it? I don't know. Anyway, we won't have a look at the League Cup then, because I don't know where it is. Okay, so let's go back then to where we were before. And it's just easier to do this leagues and focus stuff. So let's go and jump into Spain here, and we can see that Atletico Madrid were champions, taking the title off Real Madrid. Real Madrid finishing second with Valencia and Barcelona rounding out those European Champions League spots. Sevilla, Real San Sebastian, and Levante going into the UEFA Cup. John Alves and Pamplona, going down into the division below. Again, you can have a look and see who won what. Okay, so then if we go to the Spanish Super Cup, Barcelona's beating Seville there 1-0. And if we look at the Spanish Cup, 1-0 to Barcelona. Super Cup, Real Madrid beating Atletico Madrid 2-1 as well. So that's pretty good there in Spain. Let's have another look here, and we're just going to go to Italy now. Have a look at Serie A. If I can click on it, we'll see Juventus again, as you can see over here, dominating quite clearly. Even again, just champions with Napoli, Milan, and Inter, rounding off those European spots with Lazio, Torino, and Roma going in via the UEFA Cup. Sampdoria, Verona, and Brescia going down to the next division there. And if we look at the Italian Cup, we will see that Milan beat Cagliari 3-2, and the Italian Super Cup sees Juventus beat Milan 2-1 after extra time. We will then also then we're going to go to the Bundesliga, German football, and we can see that Nuremberg beat Freiburg 2-1 there in the playoffs. Okay, so we can see here that Bayern, obviously, again, apart from that last year where Leverkusen won it, Bayern Munich have won it again this season. Dortmund come in second with Leipzig, and Bayern Leverkusen rounding out those European Champions League spots. We have Stuttgart, Schalke, and Wolfsburg ending the Europa Cup spots there. Freiburg, Augsburg, and Arminia Bielefeld going down as well. And that is the Bundesliga. We can see the German Cup here. The German Cup sees Schalke beating Borussia Dortmund 2-0. So that's not too bad at all. I want to just have a look here at again. I just want to see if we can find. We probably can't. That's the name of it. The Caribou Cup. Man United beating Tottenham 2-1. I think I've covered all of them. Now that Clyde have been promoted, I will be looking at probably changing some of the divisions that I have loaded into the game. Most likely just removing at this stage. I won't be removing any of the Scottish League because we may get relegated down. All right, folks, I think this has been a big episode. Appreciate your help there and just going through. And we're the 31st of May. We are about to just go through this list here of contracts being renewed. We have released some players, and it is now going to be the pre-season I will be doing. We will see you with any luck on Monday's episode. Big changes for the club. Hopefully the board will accommodate some of the things I want. We've got a little bit of money in the bank now. Well, actually, we've lost $500,000, but that's because we have just now started construction of our youth facilities, which is where that's going. And it's just hopefully we can get some extra staff levels, and I have released a few staff looking to just get better quality staff or not have them at all. Some of the staff still won't take full-time contracts. I don't know why, including the assistant. So he's only on a 1 year contract. I'm hoping now that once the thing clicks over, the game clicks over and updates for League 2 and we're showing as League 1 again, now things will change. Alright folks, I am Parkera. Thank you for joining this as Season 2 is now officially over with Clyde FC, and next Season 3 we will be beginning life in League 1. Yeah, kaha.